watching the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo, and you already know. As usual, we are powered by Hospitality News Magazine and Hospitality News Magazine Online. If you want to have your finger on the pulse of everything hospitality in New York, look no farther than Hospitality News and Hospitality News Magazine Online. And if you like anything you see here, you like what you're watching, always hit the like button and subscribe. Today's guest is Tom Fazio, corporate chef from the Meatball Place. What do you say, brother?
Hey, man.
How we doing, all right?
What's going on? My God, you could break a bone
Come
with that,
on,
with
come
that
on,
handshake.
Tommy.
What
Get
a
out of
monster.
here. I've
Absolute
seen
monster.
you in action. Don't tell me. Making people crying to walk in all night
every
long.
now and again.
Yeah. We went to a Giant game recently, right, brother?
Sure did.
That was nice.
I remember some of it.
That was a good... Nah, we didn't have to. We
Nah.
weren't being too wild.
No,
brother.
no, we were good. We were good.
You're your boss there.
Yeah. I think they were having as much fun as we were.
I had my little brother there. He was acting up enough for everybody, so that's all right.
Hey, listen, Giants are looking good.
Giants are looking strong right now.
Giants are looking strong. You got Danny Dimes coming back. Saquon's on the tag.
Can't be happier with the way that went. I mean,
best
listen,
of the
people are
best.
going to talk about what the guy's going to make, but if Geno Smith is going to make $35 million and I think Danny Jones is going to make $42 million, what is it going to be?
It's not my money to care about, right? He's making the money, and the bosses have it to give to him.
I just need a good Sunday every once in a while,
Me
right?
too, man. It was a
Right?
good year, though.
It was a great year. Yeah, look forward to the Giants. So you guys, the Meatball Place, you do a lot of sports on television over there.
We do. We run across so many different brands, whether it's our nightlife, brunch, sporting events, catering. We do it's amazing how versatile this restaurant really is.
You guys do a really great job over there. You know, my sons, they're 23 years old. I have twin sons. You know, we live in Port Jeff, but you know, they go out. They were out in Patchogue recently, and what impressed me about their little story when they came home was that you know, they were kind of complaining about certain things. First of all, one of their friends got an open ticket, 2:00 in the morning, drinking a bottle of something out of the back of his car.
That'll happen.
And the second one was, oh, you know, we were online at the Meatball Place, and so-and-so had sweatpants on, and we had to go back, and he had to change his clothes. Well, I said, well, you know, let me explain something to you about what's going on in Patchogue and these towns. They're trying to create nightlife. And when you have nightlife and you have alcohol and you have all these things, you have to have order. So when you go into the bar, the guys that are running the bar, they're going to tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And they're going to make a line, they're going to draw it, and they're going to draw it hard. Go to some of these other villages, some of these other towns where they're not so strict. You know, it's not so safe at night. It's not so good. You don't feel comfortable. So I commend the Meatball Place. I commend the little town of Patchogue because it's shaping up to be a really nice place to hang around. And I think you guys are a big part of that, no?
Yeah, we really do enjoy the nightlife. And listen, the security that we have does a great job of keeping us safe. And at the end of the day, you're right. You know, with nightlife can come problems.
I ran a nightclub. I know, man.
Oh, I was cleaning out the planters last week. I found a switchblade and a can of pepper spray in there. It's like,
Yeah, like what was going to happen?
right. You know,
What was somebody getting ready for?
it's a great knife for, you know, going on a picnic or fishing down the beach. But why is it on Main Street in Patchogue? And that for, you know, we put a very strong stance on security. So we have 4 guys at the front door. So a guy carrying a knife, yeah, he's going to ditch it in the planter because he doesn't want to get caught with it.
He wants to come in because there's
Wants to come-
girls in there.
That's right.
That's where all the girls are.
That's right.
Do they wear the thong inside?
You know,
This is the meatball thong.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
getting a piece of that?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think? You got one for your chick, right? Yeah. All right, he hooked you up? All right, good,
hey,
good.
listen, man,
Credible marketing, sir.
I got to tell you, I got a phone call from a friend of mine a couple weeks ago. Like, listen, we got to talk. Like, what do we have to talk about? He goes, found one of your thongs on my wife.
Oh. You had nothing to do with it, right, Tommy?
I don't know nothing.
You had nothing to do with it. I might wear one of those. Get sexy with Mrs. Palmer tonight. What do you think about that?
I don't want to ever think about that again. If I could scratch that out of my think bank, I would love that.
It's impossible.
No, that's in there.
I have some acid we could wash it out with.
Oh, that's a deep rooted memory, man.
Wow, wow. So it's not, I mean, people, you hear the name, the Meatball Place. It's not just about meatballs.
No,
I know I've seen you recently. You had some killer barbecue where we were, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're not just balls anymore. That was
That's your thing, not just balls
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I started there right after COVID. I lost the restaurant because of COVID, and
Something you were involved in.
yeah, something I owned. It never got off the ground.
Yeah, COVID blasted a bunch of people like that.
Killed everybody, man. I'm very fortunate. I got picked up by the Meatball Place, and they said to me, like, listen, the program's kind of yours once I cooked for them a couple times, like,
Right.
just write the program. We're gonna open back up again in June. Be ready to go.
So during pandemic, they didn't mess around with to go or anything like that. They
They-
kind of just stopped what they were
So
doing.
it was Patchogue continued to work on to go with the old menu. Farmingdale at the time was closed.
Okay.
And I just sequestered myself away in Farmingdale for a month and literally wrote a menu backwards. Like normally when I'm breaking out menus, it's your cost effective first,
Uh huh.
and then you're breaking into what you like to do,
Uh huh.
which is plating. But I was just throwing spaghetti up against the wall
Interesting.
because we were in such a time crunch to get this thing back open.
Right.
This whole menu came together in 3 weeks, and that's cost analysis on it. That's ordering and operations. That's plating. Everything.
It's a lot of work.
It's just a lot of. It took a lot of commitment from the people around the project.
And you guys are a very visual place. I see your social media is strong. You know, you understand that, how to make things look good. So you got someone that does that specially for you guys, like social media?
We have a couple different people that work on it. We've actually just kind of consolidated a lot of it. We had an old GM who worked for us who just left in November, and she liked to have her hand kind of on everything. And I worried for her in the restaurant that she was doing too much.
Uh-huh.
And when she left, I told my boss, I'm like, listen, I work as a front of house manager for them too,
Right.
because I think the most important connection is customer.
Guests.
It's everything.
Yeah, man.
They're literally everything.
Yeah,
They're
probably.
the ones who pay the bills. That's the only revenue that comes in, right? People
Those are your
walk in.
critics. Those are everything.
So for me, as a cook, I want to be out there with them.
Yeah.
So I said to my boss, I'm like, listen, I'll take on a little more responsibility in terms of the marketing and management end of it. And I brought in a large company to really base ourselves on core content first and get our website up and running, get our social media platform stronger. And
Gotta
then
be, right?
it has to be.
It's gotta be.
You have to do media is everywhere now. I mean, look at us right now.
Couple times a day, people want to see what's happening at the Meatball Factory.
Absolutely.
I open up my phone, I look at Instagram. Hey, look at that! Look at this.
That's the game, right?
I mean, if you guys are promoting like dancing and music and late night, you got to let people know where it's going to be.
And it's gotta be fun. I mean, we broke it down. Like, I had 12 different managers working under me at Meatball when I first started there. I'm like, guys,
12.
yeah, there were 6 in each building.
Right. Right.
I'm like, listen, we have to figure out what we are. So I really want to work on generating what is Meatball Place.
Uh-huh.
And the best word we could come down to is Meatball Place must be fun. Our overriding edict for any decision that we make is Meatball Place must be fun.
Is it fun? Right. That's
Yeah.
what you have to ask yourself.
If it's fun, we're going to do it.
Right. It was funny. We were talking about pretzels at the thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, Tommy, I can't believe how people just love a soft pretzel
They
again.
love it.
They can't get enough of
They
it.
lo-
And you turned to the boss. You were like, "Hey, we're thinking about taking the pretzel off the menu." The guy was like, "What are you crazy?" Just for a goof. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's listen, a giant pretzel.
My kid can't go anywhere without getting the pretzel.
They love it.
They
They
can't
love
go anywhere.
I try to gussy it up too. I do a nice charcuterie board inside a pretzel. No.
Give me the hot cheese. They
Yeah,
want
give me
the
the
hot
hot cheese. Put it on the banana hook, and
cheese. You gotta have the hook.
you gotta have the banana hook. And we're all playing the games with Cisco to try to get the banana hook from the one company that has it, and then buying the other pretzel. And
Where's Dominic with that hook, man? He's not even. You notice
Scotto.
Dominic's not here
No.
today, right?
no, Scotto.
He was afraid to come today, Tommy.
He doesn't want to face this.
He didn't want to
This
be
is,
here
this,
for the
this,
war.
this is too much Cisco customer for him.
It's too much Cisco action. Me too. I mean, I'm a big Cisco guy too. I mean, and we make them prove it. I mean, at Crust Hollow, we vet 5,000 bids a week,
Sure.
and to Cisco's credit, they win. Went to half to 2/3 every week. So, I can always say, listen, they earn every bit of what they get
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of value in Cisco. It's not just and the bid's great. And we went into a pricing agreement with them. We were buying X% over.
Sure, yeah. We
Margin.
have the same thing, yeah. We
Right,
have the
and
same agreement.
it's great because it lets you and your sales rep really have a better relationship
yeah.
because you're not constantly having to vet them. It's okay, I get it. You're getting your 3%.
You got that cool guy with the long hair as your guy, right?
Timmy Mish, yeah.
Timmy's the man. Yeah, I like him. My guy Jeff is cool, but I seen that guy Timmy at the football game. He's
Yeah.
all right.
Tim's
He's all right.
that hair, man.
He's
That's-
iconic.
He is. He is.
And he's a Giant fan.
Yeah, we like. Listen,
We're going to keep him.
I like Timmy a lot.
We're gonna keep
Timmy,
Timmy
I think
around.
Timmy for the first year I was in Meatball Place maybe came in there twice.
And he's not the guy who says, "Hey, Tommy, you're going to go do your order online."
No, because he knew I was doing it already.
Yeah. He knew you had it down already.
I worked for Cisco for 4 years.
You're right. I forgot that.
So he was like, "Why do I need to come see you? You know,
Can't do that.
you know the products." And I'm
what
like,
you're doing.
"Just come see me every now and again."
Yeah, I don't like to have him too much, but I like to have him on the phone.
Yeah.
I like to have him on the phone.
Yeah.
Too much, you know. But they're great. You know, they call me up, say, "Hey, chef, you know, we're gonna have X amount of things we want to show you." They bring it right in. They bring. Last time they were at my kitchen, they had like 7, you know, white jackets. They were putting food together. They were doing a great job. So, you know, kudos to them. Kudos to them.
Yeah, I think it's a good company.
Yeah. So, how does it work over there, Meatball? Like, is there like a time where you say, okay, you know, we're not going to serve food anymore. We're only going to do dancing, or you can eat the whole night?
So, and God help me, I tried to get late night food going there for. It's been 3 years.
Let
And
McDonald's take care of that.
I'm sitting there at one of the last staff meetings. They were talking about late night programs for food. And I look at them and go, guys, I lost. I get it.
It's not happening.
Close the kitchen at 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna focus on brunch and catering.
Right.
And
right.
I get it. I get that they just want to drink and
Sell drinks. It gets in the way. Where are they going to sit down and eat?
where they gonna sit and eat. The servers don't want to deal with it. The bartenders
You
certainly
push
don't wanna deal
tables out of the way, or no?
with it. We try to leave them. You
Because
know,
I know music's playing, but do people dance anymore? Is there dancing happening?
so it's not as much dancing as it's just this vibe that's
Just
going
the
on.
vibe
Right?
going on.
It's just, you know, and the DJs they
Banging their head.
Yeah, and the
bobbing their head.
listen, and the DJs will tell you how important they are.
They're good at that.
They're very good at that. But they do a great job. I just said doo-doo. You're like, you can't do that anymore.
No, it's okay. This is the Chef Cholo podcast. We do whatever we want.
Perfect.
We say whatever we want, yeah.
So
Kid show. Kid show.
Kid show, everybody. Doo-doo.
Kid show. Do.
So, listen, yeah, the bartenders do what they want. Okay, when
It's
I
a
say
club, man.
and the DJs, they know how to move people within the vibe. They know how to move people into high energy positions. They know how to move people to low energy positions.
Now, do you guys go? I'm sorry. Do you guys go after like the DJ from the radio station, or like the guy that would be like has the air shift, let's say, on one of these local spots, and he could talk about it, or are you like a guy that does the bar mitzvahs and whatnot?
So our guys are. I mean, we have 2 guys that we use fairly consistently. These guys are pros,
Right.
And these guys have been, you know, in clubs in New York City for years, and you know, bumping up and down the East Coast.
Right.
You know, these are not.
They know how to move the crowd.
Yeah, it's not your bar mitzvah DJ that you pay $200.
You like that, right?
Yeah, I know that. I know those guys. Those guys are great.
They're out there too.
Hey, and there's a market for them.
Yeah.
But our market, when we're dumping, you know,
You want to get it out. You have live music too sometime, or always just like DJ?
summertime we'll do, you know, acoustic with the doors open.
Right.
We got those big garage doors.
And you guys got that wicked live at 5 thing, right?
It's a monster.
I went last year. It's insane.
It's a monster.
It's insane, bro.
I love it.
It's a pretty cool concept.
It
man.
doubles the size of my dining room for a day.
for just the day, right?
It's great though.
And there's nobody without that doesn't have a full dining room. I walked up and down the street. Everybody, every food truck has a line.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
a pretty cool. Every town has one now, as far as I could tell.
I wish they. I'm in Northport. You said you're from John Glenn originally.
Yeah, but
Elwood
they're
area.
not doing it in Northport, are they?
They do these family fun nights, but it's kind of rigid, you know. And
It's not cool. No, I've seen that. That's
it's
not
not
it.
cool.
That's not it.
It's not fun.
I mean, I live in Port Jeff. I mean, I wish that they would do one of those
They
things.
they
you
are
know?
the anti-fun in Port Jeff.
I just went over that. You know, Debbie Bowling from Pasta Pasta,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was in here. We did her show a couple days ago, and you know, we talked about what goes on in the village. So
It's
I don't know.
that's a whole separate podcast.
Unless you're the Dickens Festival or the Ice Festival.
The Dickens, they will bend over backwards for the Dickens Festival.
The cute is the Dickens.
Yeah, my God.
Hey, it's your boy Chef Cholo from the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. And if you're like me, you yearn for that old school relationship between purveyors and chefs. Nowadays, they got me going on a website, looking up my own orders, placing my own orders. I don't even know if the thing's going to get delivered the next day. I got nobody to talk to. If you're looking for that old school service with aggressive pricing, look no further than American Food Connection. What you do is you call the number at the bottom of the screen, you ask for Danny, and you get it straight. You already know.
So I see you brought some gifts for Chef
I
Cholo.
did, buddy.
No, I just want to. This is so funny. You picked this. So Tommy says, he says white or red, and I was like, well, I'd rather have bourbon. You go, yeah, I would have added brown. I should have added brown. Now, it's funny that you picked this particular whiskey because This is brewed. This is distilled in like what's called Gardner, New York. Am I right?
Yep, Gardner.
Okay, so as a kid, I lived in Gardner
Okay.
for like my dad worked in Beacon, New York, so
Sure.
we lived in Gardner, and it was like your next neighbor was a mile away. I mean,
Yeah.
the Mohonk Mountain was. I woke up every morning. It was right
Ah,
behind
it's
me.
gorgeous up there.
It was there. This place, this distillery, was a grist mill.
Really?
Okay, and so they would make flours and things like
Sure,
that.
sure.
We would go there for the class trip. Like it would be like the Boy Scouts would go there, or something like that, and you would see how a grist mill was, what they did. So when I heard that what they were doing with the whiskey was just like a perfect transition, they're taking the grain and the machinery that they would use to mill that stuff, and now they're making incredible whiskeys with it. And I do really think incredible. This is excellent stuff.
I think Hudson does a really good job.
Excellent.
Hey, cheers.
Sir,
Out
salute.
of our chef's cups.
Cowboy style in the chef cups. Yeah, like so excellent. Like a lot of maple in that one. It's really good.
Yeah,
man.
I love that. I love that stuff.
I'm gonna go with the thong.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Here we go.
And I got to tell you, we give those things out. It could be a Sunday brunch. I get a group, birthday.
I didn't get one.
I'll shoot one at a guy. Now he's got it on his head. He's trying to put it on.
I can imagine.
It's hysterical.
Do you guys have a very local? Do you get into that like local beverage program? Is that something important to you, or
So
you?
it's maddeningly. Yeah, it's very
important.
very, very important. Big words after whiskey is never a good idea. Yeah, for me, it's very important to support local as much as you can. My last restaurant, Prohibition, was exclusively New York State-based beer, wine, and spirits.
Everything, even the
Everything.
spirits. So you couldn't get a Tito's vodka
Nope.
over there.
Nope.
How do you experience that? How's that work?
There's a learning curve behind it.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that I learned in restaurants long ago is specificity matters.
Right.
And be true to who you're going to be, and
Stick with it.
stick with it. And
Stick with it.
just try to give your customer the information.
It's a cool restaurant.
Prohibition was great.
Cool restaurant for sure.
Yeah, Newsday called it. It was the hottest restaurant of.
Not very comfortable sitting over there.
Oh,
Comfortable sitting.
but we used to do 390 covers
I
on
don't know
Saturday.
how they did it. Yeah, I don't know how they did it.
in a 38-seat restaurant. It was crazy.
And now they can sit on the street. I see a lot of.
They have that now.
tables on
Yeah,
the street.
they have. It's not what it used to be. We had lightning in a bottle there for.
It was popping off. Yeah.
It's
popping
I
off.
would look at people. It's a 3-hour wait, and they're like, "Okay, we'll hang."
They do a couple of things in town. Those folks, right? They had like a donut thing.
Yeah, they had a
right?
donut shop. They had a coffee shop. They had a bunch of stuff.
Coffee shop. Yeah. Same owners own that.
Yeah,
Still?
yeah.
So what's new for the meatball place? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're always trying to innovate, right? Like, because it's, if a restaurant, you can do X amount for X period of time, but if you don't innovate, you're dead.
You're gonna be shot.
Right.
Yeah.
So for us, brunch has been huge lately.
I love brunch. How do you handle brunch? Buffet brunch?
No, a la carte.
A la carte.
A la carte brunch, bottomless mimosas, bottomless bloodies.
Oh, like that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
with a little DJ vibe happening.
Little DJ vibe happening.
Oh, like
15
Cipriani over there at the meatball place.
Exactly.
Nice.
Oh, it's a blast.
I'm gonna have to pop in.
Boozy brunch, it's the best.
I'm sure this weekend is gonna be insane with St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I'm fighting with my nightlife manager right now because, and I understand on her part, she's like, we should probably just box brunch for Sunday because we got the parade on
There's a
Sunday.
parade on Sunday, right?
Right, so it's gonna be nuts.
What do you
And
mean? Don't do brunch.
Don't do brunch. Just put out a couple items.
Green meatballs.
Exactly.
I think I see green meatballs in your future.
I used to work at Napper Tandy's for years. I was a bartender there for 13
Oh,
years.
really?
And my boss used to come out with just a tray, a big full sheet tray full of half corned beef sandwiches and just fucking hand them
Just
out.
hand them out.
I thought that was the greatest
Better
thing.
than that.
I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. This cheap Irishman who would, if he could rub nickels together to get quarters, he would.
You do it
This man was giving away corned beef
on St. Patrick's.
on St. Patrick's Day
On
because
St.
he
Patrick's
loved
Day.
he loved the day that much. He loved the people. He loved
That
the
was his
environment.
day.
That was his day.
Now they have a bunch of locations, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Northport, I see they have one.
they got Northport. They got Smithtown still.
Farmingdale,
Bayshore.
Bayshore,
There's one in Colorado too.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Those
Breckenridge.
guys go do that. Breckenridge, great town.
Great town.
Great town. Wow. You got time for TV, Tommy? You watch TV?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit here, and then, it's mostly background TV.
You saw the menu?
I saw the menu.
You loved it.
Okay, it was a little campy at the end with the s'more killing.
Obviously, like them. Well, it was just the ultimate laydown. Okay, we're gonna do everything the chef says now.
I get it, but is there anything better than that burger,
Hot, man. Hot stuff.
dude? That's
We
like
spoil the alert. I hope everyone. We spoil the menu basically every episode here.
yeah. Sorry guys.
But I mean, you went to cooking school. You went to NYIT, right?
Yep.
Gunther Grossman.
That's the man.
Was Desi Cologne there at the time?
No,
No, just Gunther back in the day.
Yeah.
OG. So this is when it was like the campus in
Central Islip.
In Central Islip.
Yep.
Yeah, right on. So you can imagine how the chef could really kind of like get everyone to get behind him like that,
Sure,
right? I
sure.
mean, everybody believes in the chef. We chef,
Yeah,
chef.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, the sous chef was like, I'm going to just off myself.
Right in the middle of this.
Chef said.
It's so funny, and
said.
that message about chef being number one and everything else falling underneath him. It's a system that's been around since the dawn of time.
Forever.
The brigade system, right? And I'm not sure how much longer it can facilitate itself.
Well, in this woke culture that we have,
That's what I'm saying.
You're not really allowed to be that kind of person. I mean, even me, I've changed the way I am a lot in my kitchens. I mean, and honestly, I didn't do it because I thought it was like woke or anything like that. I just kind of learned that, screaming at people all day really doesn't get you where you want to go.
I used to be a thrower. Like I would throw plates, I
Oh,
would throw
God.
pans, I throw a garbage can over a dishwasher's head one time.
I could line up 100 guys and tell 100 horrible
Yeah.
things about me, but
But you know what?
I'm not proud of it,
And you learn. And
But there are people that love me through that whole time too. So I guess there's the in and out of that. But yeah, you can't behave like that. I mean, first of all, young people don't want to be treated like that
No.
anymore. Nobody wants to have a shitty job.
No.
So even if you have a great restaurant and you want to be a tough boss, you could create a shitty job, and nobody wants a shitty job
Right,
anymore.
right.
They'll go to another job.
Right, they'll find something else.
They just go somewhere else. So you got to create something that is caring in a way that they want to be there at. I mean, am I right?
Listen, one of my mentors was Mike Maroney,
Right on.
and
R.I.P.
yeah, man. And I mean, that's 4 years ago now. He passed away. I just saw that on Instagram. But Mike told me one day, because I was telling him about it, I would go there at like 12 o'clock at night after I had finished work, and I would sit with him, and he had no reason to give me the time of day,
Right.
but this dude would sit with
Cool
me
guy, man.
for hours
Cool
and,
guy.
and just talk restaurant shit.
Well, he was a late night guy too.
Yeah, he
wasn't a daytime guy.
His wife was so lovely. I remember her calling the restaurant one time, going, "Leave Tommy alone and come back and come home."
Exactly.
So, but I remember
You didn't work there, did you?
No,
No, you
no,
just chilling.
a couple of my
You're
friends.
from Northport. So
Yeah, a couple of my friends worked there. We would go in because that's still one of the coolest restaurant experiences
it is the coolest in town.
in,
Let's face
in
it.
Suffolk County. It's not
Let's
even
face it.
close. If you haven't been, get there.
People try and like copy it, but nobody can.
Nobody
do
can
that.
do it.
Nobody could do
Mike
that.
was really, really good at it. Really, really
And
good.
it came out of nowhere, if you think about it.
It really did. Well, it was a pizza place.
It was a pizzeria. Yeah.
It was a little pizza place,
Yeah.
and he just said, "Listen, I'm gonna cook the food that I want to cook,
Yeah.
and you know what? If you don't want that, that's cool. That's fine."
Like Led Zeppelin music
Oh, it's
playing.
great. Pink
You know what I mean?
Floyd, the
I never
Beatles.
heard Led Zeppelin playing in the dining room before that.
For me, it's always Floyd in that restaurant.
Yeah, Floyd. Yeah.
a lot of
yeah.
Floyd. And Led Zeppelin's my number one band of all time.
Yeah.
But I could sit there comfortably numb and just.
Pretty cool, man. It was a really cool vibe.
So, but he was the first one who kind of gave me the insight that, listen, you can yell and scream all you want. It motivates some people. But most people, if they're doing it right, they want to be here, and they want to be here because it's a good space,
Because they love it.
and take care of them.
And it's food.
It's food. We're not. It's the great Frank Racine. We all
Big
know-
Frank.
Big Frank, the best
Big
of the best.
Frank, my brother.
One of my favorite lines from Frank is, "We sell green beans.
That's it.
We're not curing cancer.
That's right.
We sell green beans."
That's right. It's good.
Right. This is the happiness industry we're in. You know.
That's what it's about. I mean, for me, I do weddings now. You know what I mean? So I'm at your, which is cool because in the restaurant business it was different, where anything could happen in the car ride to the restaurant.
Sure.
It did change if someone's mental state. But in the wedding industry and bar mitzvahs and special occasions, people are usually coming to one of the biggest, occasions of their life. So I just let my cooks know, guys, this is what we're doing today. We're cooking for somebody's wedding. This is the biggest day. and their eyes will open when you talk to them like that. You're like, chef, I never really understood that. I would, my sister's gonna get married. My I want to contribute to that. I want to be
Sure.
part of that. You know what I mean? So that's what's cool about what we do, right?
You always worry about table 27, right? Or the miscreants at
Ooh.
table 27.
Wow.
Uncle Teddy and Aunt Merle.
Worst.
The worst. You
Worst.
never know when they're going to pop off.
They hated the soup. They didn't even eat it.
Right. And God forbid the salad is dressing on it.
Could you chop this where it's like liquid?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Chop salad where it's like liquid.
Well, I'll just bring the immersion blender out to the table.
I used to work at River Bay. They had a chopped salad, and they would send out the chopped salad, and it would come back chopped more.
Get out of here.
It was wild.
Hey,
It was
man,
basically liquefied.
the customer's always right, right?
Yes, sir.
That's where the money
Yes,
comes
sir.
from.
That's what we do. So I see you brought all these cool little packets for me, and it's funny. You have this hydroponic garden thing, and I was just talking to Ryan recently, and you're selling for this company. They vertically farm, right?
Yeah.
Tommy, he told me, but I can't remember. So one of those Cashone trailers, did he say that was like 10,000? That's 10,000 acres.
No. It's about 1.5 acres per trailer.
One-
10,000 would be on the extreme end of that.
So it's 1 acre per trailer, and the trailer's like what?
80 feet.
80 feet. And it
It's-
goes up in the trailer. And you can stack these trailers high.
Chris, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the future of produce production in our country. And if it's not, we're in a tough way because California's drying up. Arizona's
It's gonna
drying
fall off.
What were you paying for romaine lettuce in December?
Oh, forget it. $100 a box.
Yeah, $100, $124 a box.
So you guys grow any kind of lettuce.
So right now we're focusing production on romaine and a sweet crisp. And we were
What
growing.
is this sweet crisp? Like that Arcadian lettuce?
Yeah.
Where it
I actually,
holds up
I actually
really
brought you
good?
guys a salad that's made out of that stuff.
Right.
I use it at my restaurants. Our production right now isn't that heady. We're doing about 80 cases a week. Robke's takes 35 of them.
Right.
But we're just broke ground on a new property in Calverton. And we're going to go from 80 cases a week to about 1,200 cases a week.
Wow.
So we're going to play around with some other stuff too. I think we're going to have an R&D department that's going to be focused on things like escarole, arugula. We made basil. This guy is so smart.
Right.
He plugs in the data of Genoa, Italy, right? The
Okay.
temperature, the wind variance, the nutrients, amount of sunlight,
He turns the box into that.
and just downloads that into the box.
Kidding me.
So you want basil genovese? I'm growing it like it's grown in Genoa, Italy.
That's heavy, man.
Oh my God.
That's heavy.
I got goosebumps.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to get Ryan in here soon. He's
Yeah.
going to be mad at me that I haven't called him back. Smart
I-
guy. We live near each other. I had him on the phone. He goes, yeah, we're in Setauket. I go, you're in Setauket? I go, I live in Setauket.
Yeah.
I go, where? He goes, yeah, behind the deli. I go, what? There's a farm behind
Yeah.
the deli? He goes, yeah, well, it's in boxes.
When he rolled me in there the first day, and I looked at this thing, I was like, "This is the most incredible thing I've ever." It's something out of like Disney World.
That's what I say. It's like Listen to the Land. I remember
It's
when I was
exactly like the land. And I
a
got,
kid. Listen to the Land. That was more of the boring parts of Disney, I'll have to admit.
but now I go
As a child, but
well,
maybe
yeah,
now.
I go back there now, and I'm like, "Look at all
I,
this.
I want to know now.
How much money am I going to make in this?"
I wanted to go back to Mr. Toe's Wild Ride over and over and over.
Yeah. I was a big Splash Mountain, but they canceled Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain's out.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Disney when I was a kid. They used to have something called the Daniel Boone canoe ride.
Sure,
And
yeah.
it was like canoes that they gave you paddles. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know. They didn't. I don't. I swear they stopped giving you paddles the next year I went back. But they gave us all paddles, and you didn't really have to paddle the boat, but they gave you a paddle. The
Sure.
boat kind of moved. Well, we had the biggest water fight, with these paddles. And I remember this Asian guy had this wicked camera set up, I know, right? Around his neck. And I remember the guy was just furious because he was just soaked in water. And then I swear when I went back the next year, they had the Daniel Boone ride, but they didn't give the
Yeah,
paddles
no more
out
paddles.
No more paddles.
No more battles.
No
That
more
costs too much money.
It was a bad idea that day.
Yeah.
But Disney's a beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. A lot
wonderful.
of memories there.
All right. So, social media, I know you guys use it a lot, but what about you? You use it to influence what you're thinking about?
I do. For a while I looked at social media like it was just a business opportunity and a way
Right.
to connect with guests. But it's it's good for a lot of things.
For R&D, no? Like you see things, right?
I'm all over Instagram.
Anybody you're looking at special now, do you think is doing something way out?
And not really good. There's just so much media out
You
there.
got to check out Peter Nyland. He's a chef from Australia,
Okay.
and he ages fish, and he does things with fish, which is like a waterless butchery, and it's another whole level. And it just there's things that I see every day that just blow my mind. So as a chef, you check it out. You might like it. I mean,
Sure,
it's
yeah.
inspirational. I mean, it's nothing that I'm going to do at a wedding for somebody, but
Right.
to see how things can progress,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To see what the possibility of food is, I think is awesome. And this guy and some other guys, I mean, you know, I see Wiley Dufresne's going to open his pizza place
Yeah.
now. And, you know, so there's always that. And I think that that's important for us to pay attention to.
And that's the fun part about food, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you and I make money with food, and
Absolutely.
there's a sadness behind that, because food drives us, food sustains us, it satiates us, it's family, it's emotion.
It's part of my biggest addiction that I have to handle.
I'm
you know
right
what
there.
I mean?
I'm right
Yeah.
there with you, man. But I'll
That's
tell you
the
right now,
truth.
the psychology of food is so important. Like people don't realize food tastes better when you're in a better mood.
When you're happy.
Right. And
Absolutely.
If you're in a bad mood, you could be having the best meal of your life, and you might not. It will taste drastically different.
Well, it's like the guy in the menu. He couldn't mention one dish that he ever had.
Yep.
Had to cut his hand off.
Yep.
Take his hand off for
Yep.
that one. Shit. Well, listen, brother. It was really good catching up with you today.
Absolutely, man.
And I know we see each other around a lot here and there, and maybe Cisco will drag us into a giant
Hey,
game next
listen,
season.
we
You
can
know what
only
I mean?
we can only hope.
I have to put the arm on my boy Tommy B over there. He's
Yeah,
a good man.
Listen, I'm gonna get on Timmy right away.
Yeah.
I need some Mets tickets is what I need.
Oh man, there's not. I mean, during the year they have the great suite. You been to the suite they
Yep,
have there?
yep.
It's phenomenal. But I do try and go to opening day. It's like almost impossible right now to get
Yeah.
opening day tickets.
They're gonna be good this year.
It's gonna be a great year.
Yeah.
You're a Met fan. I know you're a
Huge Met fan. Huge
oh,
Met fan.
Met Giant. So we're right in the same
Yeah,
pocket.
right wheelhouse.
Right in the same
Yeah.
pocket.
DeGrom's mother cuts my mother's hair in Florida.
No.
Yeah. I've got 3
The
signed
guy
balls.
with the longest hair.
Who
Well,
knew?
not anymore.
Not anymore.
but not anymore.
Jake went corporate.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, good for him. I mean, I hate the fact that he's not on our team anymore.
You know, and
What are you gonna
it's a business decision.
What are you gonna
I
do?
get it. Listen, he's in Texas. I wish him nothing.
We
but
got a
the best.
couple of stud arms anyway.
But
Not
look,
too bad.
Looks okay.
We're not looking okay.
Looks
We're not
okay.
looking so bad right now. Well, like I said, you were listening to the Go Crying to Walk In podcast. I'm Chef Cholo. And like I said always, please like and subscribe. You already know.